Welcome to South Shore Piano, the official podcast of the South Shore Piano School. I'm your host, Jonathan Roberts, and on this podcast, we talk with students, parents, teachers, and other leaders to find out exactly how music education and the arts are changing lives every day. My guest today is Theo Grossman, who is finishing his sophomore year at Hingham High School and started piano lessons during the pandemic, which is awesome. He started piano lessons over the summer, right when we were kind of in the heat of things, started online, and has been just doing phenomenally well. Went from sort of being familiar with the grand staff to sight reading quite well, playing and singing, doing virtual recitals, lots of really cool, inspirational stuff. Theo, thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Of course.
So Theo, I like to start these podcast episodes with a really silly question that has nothing to do with anything, because this is a fun show. Are you ready?
I am ready.
If you could have a conversation with any animal, which animal would you pick and why?
I'd probably pick, like orcas or killer whales. Like
Are they the same thing?
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah, the same thing. Yeah.
Killer whales.
I'd probably pick those because they're they're fast and they're kind of aggressive, but they're cool. They're overall cool. They work in pods and stuff, and they do stuff together. So why not?
That's cool. What questions would you ask of the orca?
I don't know, highest you jumped.
What's the highest you've jumped?
Yeah, sure. I don't know,
It's a great jumping point for conversation. Very cool. Thank you for playing. So Theo, you've been an inspiration. You've started lessons in high school, and you started lessons during a pandemic, both of which are times that people usually quit. So I'd love to ask, what inspired you to get started during this time?
I mean, I guess what got me inspired to start was my I've been doing chorus for 6 years, something like that. And I guess kind of taking that to the next level as well. I have gotten quite good from that, just from chorus, but it's hey, I have the upfront knowledge. I kind of want to take a peek behind the scenes so I can lift the whole game up, if that makes any sense. And from the beginning, even through now, my knowledge from chorus and my skill has in a way boosted my piano skills, and my piano skills also boosted my singing ability. So yeah, it's been a win-win both ways.
Very cool. How long have you been doing chorus for in school?
I've started in 5th through 10th, so 5-ish years, 6 years.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Do you remember your early days of getting started in chorus? Was it a required class, or was it an elective thing that you signed up for?
It was, so at least at Hingham, how it works is you need to take an art, 5th grade and 6th. And I started in 5th grade, and I just continued since because I loved it. Yeah.
Very cool. And I love what you said about how the skills transfer. So you feel like the piano skills have helped with chorus stuff, and singing stuff has helped with piano stuff?
Yeah. The way I kind of think of it is you learn something here, and then you see it in the chorus room, or vice versa, where it's oh, that's how that works, or that's how that flips into that. And I'm okay, so that's just how it flows, I guess, overall as music, instead of just how the melody goes, or the bass part, the bass line.
Yeah, so it's all coming together.
Yeah, more or less.
Awesome. And you've also performed piano in public, sort of in public, because it's virtual public, but live during the pandemic. What was that experience like for you? I think you've performed twice, and one of those times you played and sang, which was really cool. What was that experience like?
Honestly, I didn't really going into that. At least the first one, I had no clue what to expect, and I thought it'd be crazy pressure. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. I have as I've matured, I have gotten better at dealing with pressure and extra stuff where it's okay, calm, take a step back. This is I don't know, 40 people, tops, I don't know,
right.
How X, Y, Z amount of people, and I can just internalize that's nothing. This is a 5-minute performance stops. I can deal with this, and that's helped me get through it. But honestly, it's kind of interesting because I personally, when I perform, I don't pay attention to the crowd at all. So I'm like either cranking the music, or when I'm like in chorus, I'm like only looking at my score. And I'm just so I kind of like forget they're there. And then you finish, you look and like, oh wait, there are like 40 people there. So I guess I just like almost like forget that, like that helps me, I guess.
Yeah. Do you find that you're sort of in the zone when you're performing, sort of so focused on your music that it's like
Yeah, yeah,
the rest of the world kind of kind of fades away? And that
yeah.
hasn't changed in the virtual universe.
No, it hasn't. Yeah, no, yeah, that's like a perfect way to phrase it. Yeah, I'm in the zone.
Yeah, no, that's a really nice way to think about it. And then the other part of this too is, you're in high school now, which is way busier now than it was when I was in high school between the workload and commitments and stuff like that. And even when it's not a pandemic, a lot of high schoolers have a hard time balancing things to keep making progress, even when they've been taking lessons for a while. But you've made so much progress in a short amount of time being online and being in high school. How do you think you've managed that? Just like navigating your schedule and just staying consistent.
Honestly, I the way I kind of do it is like consistency. I think like early on in the school year, I figured out, okay, I do homework like every other day for like classes, and I do like maybe 2 hours tops. And I kind of like I order everything consistently. And with that, I'm like, okay, I have like 30 minutes extra. What can I like fit in there? Or what can I like change about it so I can have like 45 minutes, like an hour? And over like time, I've kind of gotten like quite good at like formatting and like making like effect like making something like effective of it. So I guess like really just like organization, honestly, is like how I've gotten like how I've kept up the progress and how I haven't like been like overwhelmed really.
So you feel like you've gotten really good at managing your time and how you do things to make the most of the time you have. Do I have that right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. That's one skill I think everybody needs, whether they're in high school or they're adults. That's something we can never stop getting better at for sure. Love it. So cool. Now, when you encounter a musical challenge, whether it's piano or chorus stuff, because whether we're starting or whether we've been taking for a while or even professionals, we always have musical challenges, whether it's a new technique or a hard part of a piece. How do you feel like you've tackled that to power through?
I guess the way I would phrase I do is I just again like take a step back, and I get it depends on how hard it is or like what it is, but I break it down like from like the most basic step you can take, and then like slowly snowball it until like whatever you're trying to achieve. If that makes any sense. I mean, like for chorus, I'm like quite far in like solfege, which is more or less how my course teacher assesses us off of like musical ability.
Yeah.
And say when you have like a crazy like a difficult like a tempo or like some like crazy rhythm thing, I will like and then just like go from there more or less and like cut like whatever beat you want. Or per se, like if you need to like hit this like crazy high note, like warm up before or like go like higher than you really need to. And then because I have like a bass like voice, I have like a lower voice, I need to like overshoot it. So I guess it's kind of starting from like the very basics and eventually like growing it into what you need to achieve.
I love how you broke that down. No pun intended. So
Yeah.
taking a complex problem, breaking it down to really the smallest manageable chunk, the SMC. I've decided to dub that a term, smallest manageable chunk or
Yeah.
whatever, and then grow from there. Do I have that right?
Yeah, that's exactly how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Now, how do you see music being a part of your future? Because you seem thoroughly invested in this music thing between chorus and piano and stuff like that. How do you
Yeah.
feel that? Because we're gonna blink and you're gonna graduate and go to college and go to do amazing things. How do you see music being some part of that?
Honestly, I don't even know. Like I kind of I go with the flow, and
Yeah.
if I like it, I like it. I don't like right now feel any reason to stop. Like I'm enjoying it. I've gotten quite good at it. Like I'm improving and I'm like challenging myself. So why should I like stop? I don't really know, like honestly, because depending on the university, I don't know if I'm gonna do music in college. If I have the space or time, why not? Like, there's like nothing really against it. There's no like cons to it. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would like to see it in the future. I'm not sure how that'll work out, but I would like to.
Yeah, most universities do have a course specifically for non-majors. I could see that being a thing that you do in college.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
Something like that. Very cool. Well, Theo, this has been really interesting, inspiring conversation, just hearing what got you into lessons. I love what you said about how you manage your time. That's something that I think everybody listening to this can learn from. And just how music's been such an important part of your life and how you've succeeded in the online universe. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much to all of our listeners. Again, this is South Shore Piano, the official podcast of the South Shore Piano School. I'm Jonathan Roberts, and on this podcast, we talk with students, parents, teachers, and other leaders to find out exactly how music education and the arts are changing lives every day. If you enjoyed this episode, do hit the subscribe button on the podcasting app of your choice, or if you're checking us out on the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you're among the first to find out about new episodes as they're published. We publish new episodes every Monday and Friday. Thank you so much, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.